Hey guys, Hank Ogle here with Ogle Wildlife, and today I'll be teaching masking in Adobe Photoshop. Now, if you're interested in nature and wildlife photography or videography, either that or maybe you're trying to get into Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Premiere. I'll be doing tutorials for all of those things, so make sure to press the subscribe button, either that or press the bell to be notified of my next video. Now, without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Not going to get copyrighted for humming that, I hope. Something like that. There we go. I got a map. It's done. I was only using layer masks.
What the heck is this supposed to be? It's your graduation gift.
It's your present, Marvin.
You freaking do it. Boys support boys. Did you all do this? Hank did all the Photoshop. Oh my god.
Like my masking?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Can I point out this right here? Can I point this out? Can I just point this out right here?
Hey, Marvin.
Yeah. Oh.
Read it.
Where? On the bottom? A story based on the life of Marvin Contorno. What a great description. Wow, this is awesome.
That was by far one of my best projects I've ever done with masking. It took me so long to do. It was great, though. Well worth it. Okay, let's get right into Adobe Photoshop then. Now that we're in Adobe Photoshop, as you can see, I have Marvin's poster open at the moment. I call this project Creative Chaos because I totally forgot to name each layer, which resulted in all these mysterious numbers that I can't tell the difference between any of the layers. So what I had to do while making this poster is I had to keep turning layers on and off. So as you can see, like with the person in the center of the O, you can see that I'm toggling it on and off. On each layer, there's something called a layer mask, which is these boxes right next to them. And yeah, usually there's a little icon that comes, there we go, layer mask thumbnail. And everything that is white is something that is being shown on the image. Everything that's black is not being shown on the image. And remember that a layer that's on top of another, the top layer is going to be the one that's shown first. So yeah, Creative Chaos. I'm not actually going to go through everything involved in this poster, because honestly, I'm getting a headache just looking at it. It came out great. I don't really want to touch it anymore because I already put a whole bunch of work into it. But yeah, this project was primarily made with layer masks, minus a few quick selections. But I didn't want to deal too much with quick selections because it's a real pain to get like the nitty gritty parts of like the hair. As you can see, like the hair right here, there's still some elements of the image that this image was originally part of. It's just it's really hard getting the fine details. So in order to actually show you what a layer mask does, I'm going to open up another project. So new project, I'm going to do a 2000 by 2000 pixel one. I'm going to choose a blue background. I'm going to try making quickly make a video game type map using only, I put this as blue, but I guess it gave me a black background. So what I'm going to do is create a new layer, and then I'll do a solid color, and I'll choose a blue color. I like lighter, maybe something like this. So that'll be my ocean. And then the next layer is going to be another solid color. It is going to be a grassland. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this layer mask. Luckily, whenever you create a solid color on a new layer in Photoshop, it gives you automatically a layer mask. If not, what you do is you select the layer that you're on, and you click this icon right here, which is the add vector mask. And then what you're going to do is you're going to choose your paintbrush, and you're going to choose black. And then you're just going to paint out the new color. There we go. So it's all blue. And the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to just toggle over to white. Now, everything that is white on the mask is what's going to be shown on the image. It's the affected area of the image. So I'm just quickly going to paint. There we go. And then if you want to make your brush smaller, you press the brackets. So the bracket facing left is going to make it smaller. The bracket facing right on the keyboard is going to make it bigger. So I'm going to make it smaller. This is not going to be a very good map. I can already tell. There we go. So then what I'm going to do is this. Wow, talk about a weird map. Something like that. I'll increase the landmass a bit. There we go. We got a bit of a river going on. I'll make it a bit more circular. There we go. Yeah, it's looking weird, but it'll work. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make another layer. So I'm going to select the solid again, layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some water ripples along the edge of the landmass. So I'm going to create another solid color. It's going to be a little bit not pure white, just something like this. And then I'm going to do the same process over again. Now I'm still on white, so that's not going to work. Now I'm going to be on black. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my brush super small. And by the way, this keyboard shortcut is universal on both Mac and Windows. So just for you Windows people out there. And now I'm going to go back to white. There we go. And now I'm going to color along the edges. So I got my edges of my landmass, which is going to be water. I'm going to change the blend layer to dissolve. And it's going to give it sort of a ripply feeling to it. There we go. And now what I think I'll do is I'll put the landmass on top. That kind of works. I'll just say it works. Okay, so landmass is almost done. As you can see, I'm just using layer masks. I mean, most other people would probably just use a brush and just draw it out. But I think this is a great way of learning how masks work. And I mean, once you start learning the basics, masks are really simple to use, and they're very important for people who are trying to get into photo editing or video editing too. Masks are universal between the two, as they help you take certain parts of your images. You could take certain objects out. Either that, or you could blend multiple images together and make it look a little bit more natural. Not going to get copyrighted for humming that, I hope. Something like that. There we go. I got a map. It's done. I was only using layer masks. Now moving on, I could go ahead and open up another image on Photoshop. There we go. There she is. She's also right there in the picture frame. Okay, so then if you guys really want to see exactly what you can do with layer mask when it comes to editing photos, this is a common way of getting rid of noise in an image. It's sort of an old school version. Some of the new filters that you could get do a much better job, but this was a way of getting rid of noise before we had all these cool plugins. So I'll go and do filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, and that's probably pretty radical. Usually I want to go a little bit lower. So I'll press OK. So as you can see, it applied the whole entire effect to the image, which is not what I wanted. I just wanted to blur the background a bit more. So what I would do is I would use a layer mask. And then I would make my brush bigger, and I'll start painting my dog out of it. Because I only want the background to be applied, have the effect applied. I don't want my main subject to be blurred as well. It's not a very pleasing look if you're blurred out. So I just lightly go along my dog. I'm not quite going to make this perfect, but it'll be close enough. I don't think it really matters having the going around on the light. Yeah. Sweet. Almost there. Okay. And then this is what the before looks like. This is what the after looks like. It's very subtle, but it definitely helps eliminate some of the noise. This image didn't really have any very much noise since I exposed to the right, which is a photographic technique for eliminating as much noise as possible in your image. So for those of you who are getting into photography, if you're shooting in low light situations or you mess up your exposure and you end up with more noise than you want, what you do is you'll go into Photoshop, you'll do the same process. You'll create a new layer, a new mask after you apply a Gaussian blur to that new layer. And then you'll really carefully take your, use the layer mask and take the effect off of your main subject using the brush. That's a very simple and very effective way of using masks for photography. I know there's a lot more to masking, and I wish I could go more in depth, but I was trying to keep this video short. If you guys already knew how to do layer masking, just leave a comment down below about how you use masking in Adobe Photoshop. All right, thanks for sticking around. Hope you guys have a great day, or evening, or morning, whichever part of the day that you're watching this. See ya.